today. I've got Olivia in the house. Olivia, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
So a lot of people know you. Would you say that?
I mean, I've worked hard, so I hope so in a really good way.
So I think you're well known, but do people really know you?
Yeah, true.
At your core. True. Okay. So I want to start all the way back in the beginning. Where were you born? And tell us a little bit about childhood.
Okay. So, wow. I was born, believe it or not, in Vegas. So I am a Vegas baby. My parents actually met in Vegas. And I grew up there until I was like maybe 11, 12. My dad is a pastor. And I either get like, why did you move so much? Either they asked me if I'm a military baby, but I'm not. So my dad was a pastor. And then we moved to San Francisco, California. So I was there for about 2 years. I have a younger brother. His name's Rob. And he's 2 years younger than me. And then we moved to Miami. And I just kind of grew up there. I always say I grew up in Miami. I did, middle school, high school, and then graduated college.
So we're going to need to unpack this already.
It's a lot.
We're already to the beginning of the onion here. Dad's a pastor.
Yeah.
And we were born in Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah. And they met in Vegas in a club, I guess.
Okay.
I guess.
All right. So, do you know how to gamble, or like, are you really good? Did you ever learn any of the, I mean, you're in Vegas. Yeah. I know this is a young age, but like, did you learn any of the games? Is that part of the culture?
No, funny enough, the last time I went to Vegas, I was like 14, and I can play goldfish and I can school anyone at war, but that is all I could do. That's it. I know nothing about gambling.
So, war, there's still strategy. There's strategy to war. I'll take that.
Yeah.
And then San Fran.
Yes.
So how many years there?
I was there 2 years, and it's the most beautiful city. Oh, it's gorgeous. We lived on the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge, and then we went to school in the city. So if you've seen Full House, and I know everybody and their mom has seen Full House, it is exactly like we would cross the Golden Gate, and then the clouds would be like coming in. It was amazing.
It sounds like almost like a postcard or a picture, like every single day.
Every day, twice a day, because then we'd have to go home and see it again.
And then, such is life. That's some first world problems right there. When you have to see the clouds and the Golden Gate Bridge.
I know.
And then to Miami.
So my dad, we moved from Vegas to San Francisco because he took over like a very large church. And then did the same thing in South Florida. And we moved, and then I can say it now, like all hell broke loose, I guess. My parents got divorced. It was very, very, very hard for me. You can imagine, I grew up in a beautiful Christian household. The idea of divorce that was just like, that doesn't happen to our family. And it did. And it was very hard. I was probably 16. My brother was 14. But man, we stuck together, and we pulled through, and I do for sure know that my strength, a lot of it comes from that story, and just like having to just keep going no matter what happens.
It's interesting. There's so many people that deal with divorce.
Yeah.
Whether it's from our parents, whether it's ourselves, it doesn't matter. It's like, it sucks. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's necessary.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like my mother left when I was 2 years old.
Wow.
And I met her when I was 10, and then again when I was turning 18. And I've always imagined like, what would my life be if she had been in my life the whole time? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I think it was better for her and better for my dad for them not to be together.
Sure.
Like, even though in my heart, we just want our mom and dad. We have no clue of all the stuff.
The dynamic.
The stuff that they went through, or what was that? What was it like when we went to sleep? What did they have to fight through or go through? And it just is what it is.
Yeah.
And thank God it is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's true.
So tell us what happens after Miami. Where do we go then?
Oh gosh. So, I got married the first time, very young. So again, growing up in church, you know, you want to do things a certain way, the way that you think that, you know, it is. So I got married at 20 years old, had absolutely no clue what I was doing. I was my first boyfriend. I mean, I met him when I was 18, like the whole childhood story. I mean, like the purity ring, the whole 9 yards, you get it.
Yes.
And, so yeah, we got married, and shortly after getting married, I graduated college, and I went to school for fashion merchandising and advertising, and I landed my dream job, at Elle Magazine in New York City. So if anybody has ever seen The Devil Wears Prada, that was it.
Oh my goodness.
It was like literally identical. So I told my then husband at that time, like, look, we have to do this. And he was just not very supportive. And I said, well, if you allow me, I'm going to go. I'm doing this. Thank God. I mean, he just was okay. And I left and I went to New York. I was there. I had the most amazing experience, as you can tell. I mean, I think the part of like the hustler, whatever hustler sharky I have is from that experience. It will definitely form you and show you what you're made out of very quickly. That city will swallow you alive. But it's beautiful, all in like the same breath. So I was there, worked alongside like designers, PR companies that you would just dream of. And I got a lot of really cool exposure and experience. But I felt, and I knew that my marriage, my relationship was just, it was not going to be salvaged if this continued, because he wasn't going to move. So I left it and went back to Miami. And then shortly after, so my ex-husband is a musician, a sound engineer. And his dream was to go to Nashville. So we followed his dream and we moved to Nashville. So when I tell you I've lived in like every big city, so to be in Ocala, you can imagine my culture shock. So yeah, I mean, we moved to Nashville. After that, we were in Nashville for 2 years. And he did very well and got his music, career started. And then moved back to Miami. So I've been a little bit everywhere.
A little to and from.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of women do this pattern, this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supporting your man in his dream.
Yep.
And it makes me a little fearful because my daughter, I've taught her every ounce of her to be independent to a certain amount and to be loving and caring to a certain amount,
sure,
but to always stand up for what she wants and for what she wants to achieve. She's flat out told me that her future husband will take her last name. I thought that was hilarious.
Go girl.
She said she will never stop being a Gray.
Oh my God.
But I want you to unwrap that a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, and I know that it takes all these experiences to make us who we are today, and we say we wouldn't change a thing and all that, but like this was a dream job.
Yeah.
This was a big deal.
Yeah.
And you chose to come back. What truly made you make that choice?
To leave New York City?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I was there by myself. And so I knew, what is the viability of me actually like living here and having a functioning, healthy marriage at the same time. And it wasn't. And also, I mean, New York City, everybody knows, is extremely expensive. So like financially, it was a burden, because then we were carrying, two mortgages or salaries or not salaries, rents. I mean, I had a tiny studio. It was 390 square feet and it was $2,800. And that was 10 years ago. Oh. It was like 2 of these, maybe 2.5.
Hey.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was very, very small space. And I just knew like, it's not going to be realistic if I want to try and salvage this. And so I had to make the tough decision. And I did it, and it was very hard. And I think the danger with that, even though, as a wife, you try to put your marriage, at the forefront of everything. The danger is that then you get resentful, because then I got home and remember, now it was his turn. Now you follow me. And I'm like, wait a minute, I just came home. Like, so it was very, very tough. And then it did cause an amount of resentment of like, okay, well, I just sacrificed this, but let me be the good wife and let's go for yours.
Yeah. And it's not like you were failing at your dream.
No,
Like you were winning.
Yeah.
You were winning at your dream. You had to make the call.
Yeah.
And I don't fault you whatsoever. Like a lot of men and women have made these choices where it's, it's her dream. I wanna help her achieve it, or you coming back and sacrificing because you knew he had a dream.
Yeah.
But then to uproot and then just move to another city,
I know.
That's a rough one. So I can see where resentment would start to build.
I mean, I had just gotten home, and again, my whole family's in Miami. So I kind of like felt, okay, well, I left New York, but at least I'm home with my family. And then 3 months later, it was, well, now I got this opportunity. Let's go. So yeah, it was hard. But at the same time, and I know this sounds cliche, but every single road that you take, gets you to where I am now. And that's, I think, the greatest blessing for me. Was being able to overcome those things. And I'll tell you, as a woman, and I'm sure we'll get into this subject, but I am a huge advocate. Like if I had a daughter, who was 14, I would ingrain in her the importance of being an independent, successful woman, no matter if you're married to whoever you're married to.
And that's kind of the hard part. Yeah. That's the balance is, you want your son or daughter to be independent to a certain amount.
Sure.
But then to also, you hope they find the person that they love one day. It can be a while. She can wait. But more importantly, like, I want her to have a happy life. I want her to have her level of success. Mm-hmm. She doesn't just get everything handed to her. You know what I mean? It is hard. I will tell you this. It is very hard to tell her no, because she is a very good kid. But I've had to kind of learn. My dad had all boys. I grew up with brothers.
Wow.
We didn't have women in our life, at least not for long. Yeah. So I just didn't have that piece of it. So my grandmother is the one who actually taught me, in my opinion, how to truly love a woman. She told me when I was in 5th grade, I'm going to tell on myself, I made fun of a girl. Uh-oh. Okay. Now, I'm not perfect, but I made fun of this girl, and my grandmother found out what I said about this girl. And I have never been scolded so hard and just not yelled at, because my grandmother never yelled at me, but just sat me down and said, don't you ever. She said, women, and this is her words, she says, women are fragile. You should treat a woman with respect and dignity and love regardless of who they are. Yeah. She said, you may not be an emotional creature, but that little girl, you're going to hurt her feelings, and it's going to stay with her. I have not, now I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I have not ever said anything close to a woman ever again. Yeah. And she straightened me up real quick.
Well, that's good. Good for your grandma.
Oh, yeah. She was true to the game right there. It's she wouldn't let me get away with nothing. Wow. So life has a funny way of its twists and turns. Yeah. But let's talk about where you're at now. Yeah. Okay. Because one of the coolest logos, I've told you that before. Yeah. Tell us about business. Tell us about what you're aspiring to right now, because you seem to be, I'm not going to say jumping from cloud to cloud, but things are just starting to line up in your life like never before. Yeah. And it's apparent from all of us, kind of watching the show and watching from the outside. So tell us a little bit about what's going on now.
Awesome. Yeah. So launched the Ocala Collective a year ago. So the Ocala Collective is a real estate company, and it is brokered by Compass. It has been a whirlwind. It's one of those things where, as an entrepreneur, and I'm sure when you start getting that itch of what's missing in Ocala, or what can I do, or what is my passion, you wake up at 2 and 3 in the morning. And that is how it started with me. My my background in real estate, I worked for a builder for 3 years and was doing very, very well. I mean, I far exceeded my numbers. I was rookie of the year. I mean, I went into real estate with this builder knowing nothing. I didn't even know what drywall was. Let's just say that. So I learned and I worked my way up from the bottom. And then I knew that, I didn't want to just work for the builder. I wanted to be able to do everything or service all of Ocala. So I went into resale and I was under a team there for about a year. And once I started learning and seeing everything, I thought, you know what, I can do this. Like I know I can do it. I love leading and mentoring and just helping people. So as that itch started, I knew the Ocala Collective started like brewing in me, and it was very scary. And as an entrepreneur, I if you're listening and us here, we know how scary that leap of faith is to be like, okay, this is all me now. And in real estate, you are unemployed every single morning. But I did it. And I launched a year ago. I have a small but mighty team. There's 3 of us. We come from all different kind of scopes and life experiences, which is so great. I have Sabrina Brown, who's actually born native here in Ocala. So she's so funny because she brings like this all-American Ocala vibe. I mean, when I first met her, again, this ultra city girl, she's taught me a lot, and I've taught her a lot. And then Christine is our newest, and she's been with us for like 6 months, and she's thriving. And she's also, I mean, she's not from Ocala, but she's been here for a while. Her husband, Bobby, is from here. So yeah, we have a great collaborative team. And I think that the best part is that we're like family. And so we help each other, and how that benefits our clients is that we're always there for them. Like when a client of mine hires me, whether it's to buy or sell their home, it's not just me, but you have an entire team. And it's a team that has no competition, no rivalry. Like we're all in it to truly to service our clients. So yeah, I mean, it has been a whirlwind trying to brand a new name, a new logo, a new company. For me I love it because that's what my background is in marketing and advertising. So I live and breathe it. And then I just get to also sell beautiful homes, and some not so beautiful. It's not always beautiful. But yeah.
So I love the word collective. It's one of my absolute favorite words.
Yeah.
I've wanted to use it in business names for a long time. Yeah. As soon as I found out that you had it, I was like, okay, now what do I do with it? That's all right. One day. Yeah. What does collective mean to you?
So it's a couple things. One of them was having a collective of like top-notch rock star agents that are collectively on the sides of our clients. So whether that is buying or selling, I mean, when somebody sells a property, it is extremely emotional. I mean, speaking from experience, whether you're selling it because you're getting divorced or you got a new baby or somebody died, it's very, very emotional. So to have a collective team of agents that is on your side through everything, and whether you're buying as well, I mean, new homeowners that they've worked, their asses off their entire lives to get their 2 kids and, whatever their situation is, it's emotional. So that's one of them, the collective of agents. And then having a portfolio of collective of homes that we are showcasing for our clients. Like, this is the homes that we sell. This is what we offer. This is what we can bring to you. So it's kind of like a two-way street. And then Ocala, which you don't have to say anything else.
Period. After Ocala.
Yeah.
So the Ocala Collective.
Yeah.
Very good. We're going to be sharing that logo as well in our post, because there's something very simplistic about your logo. And as a branding company, like we look at the smallest detail, and your logo is clean, professional, simplistic. it feels like home, you know. I know it's crazy to put a scent to a logo, but like I picture what it like when you walk into like the W Hotel.
I was just gonna say the hotel collection, please.
It really does. Like it feels very warm.
Yeah.
And that is a very hard thing to do. Most people choose a logo that just, I don't know. It's like throwing mud to a wall.
Oh, I know.
But you can tell that time went into it and that it needed to speak to your group, your collective of agents.
Thank you.
Definitely love seeing that and seeing the growth in Ocala. What do you see as your future, your next 3 years, your next 5 years when it comes to life and business?
Gosh, that's a heavy one. Well, the good thing is that I see really great things. In business, I can tell you that we are slowly but surely expanding, whether that is with the team, but also with the services we offer. So besides selling real estate, which I absolutely love, but I also have a huge passion for interior. For design, I didn't go to school for interior design, but my background is in design and fashion merchandising and just putting together from, textiles and textures. And I know all that and I love it. When I bought my first home, we gutted it completely. And I got so much feedback. I didn't even realize, honestly, and I say it humbly, but I know I did a good job, but when other people saw these pictures, I had like 4 people contact me and say, who did this? And I said, well, that was me. With the staging and the furnishings and just the design aspect and tearing down walls and moving things. So slowly, we just took on one of our first clients to do all of their design. They have several properties here in Ocala, and their latest one is an investment project. So we have taken it and from like start to finish, from paint to interiors to the design, the decor, everything. So I think that's another avenue that we are exploring little by little. Again, like we want to make sure that we, hone in on what our priority is, which is real estate. But it goes hand in hand. I mean, all of my clients, at the end of the day, when I do a closing, they ask me for like 3 things: a handyman, a painter, and a decorator. So part of the Ocala Collective's great service that we provide is having all that readily available to you. And if I can keep that in-house and with someone like myself that I know is going to do it right, do it with passion, and look after my client's aesthetic, and not everybody is the same, then heck, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. You didn't know this before walking in here, but my grandmother was the most influential woman in my life, and she was an interior decorator. Now, she didn't have over I believe an 8th grade education.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Married for years, divorced later in life. Started from scratch, started selling silk flowers that she would make, arrangements that she would make, and sold them out of the trunk of her car on the side of the road. Moved to the flea market, then bought her first place right off of 200 and Pine when you turn where the oncology place is.
Yes.
Just past that on the right, that long strip of buildings was hers.
Wow.
She passed away 2 years ago. And her design talent, like it was so powerful. Like you knew a space that she had done for sure.
Yeah.
And it's why I care about the color on my walls in my house. Like I'm not one of these guys that's like, just paint it whatever you want.
Whatever.
Like I care about all those little details.
Yeah.
And then my wife, I got married last October.
Yes.
And my wife, I didn't even know this before I married her, so this was the bonus. She has an absolute talent for decorating and design.
Wow. And
the way that I used to be very picky about where things were placed in my house. And when they would get moved, I would know. I'm more of a photographic memory.
Yeah.
So I would be like, why is that turned that way? It's not supposed to be that way. And she is the first woman in my life that I have been like more than happy. She can move anything she wants.
Move whatever.
I know it's going to look good. And it impresses every single time. I tell you that because I love hearing that about your company, because I'm a big proponent for one source, one company, one solution. Trusting one person with the entire transaction start to finish.
Yeah.
My grandmother's last business, she was a self-made woman, ended up building a 5,000 square foot home on 4 acres, 3,000 square foot guest house. She did it. She accomplished it. She was the glue to our entire family. She's the reason that I push so hard. Seeing that part of your business, it is going to take you to a whole different level.
Yeah.
And because you're going to find the people that aren't afraid to spend a little bit of money staging their home. Her final business was staging homes.
Yeah.
She wasn't even in real estate.
Wow.
She just knew how much value it adds. Because a lot of realtors will do one of two things, right? They're like, yeah, leave it how it is. We'll just come down on the price.
Correct.
Or they'll say, oh, it's all got to go or I can't sell it. Or someone with an eye can either repurpose their own items in their house or suggest a staging package for
Correct.
an empty house.
Correct.
What you're doing is adding such an exponential value. And I promise you, there's very, very few real estate brokerages that are doing anywhere near that.
Yeah.
Most just want to list a house and sell a house.
Correct.
They just want the money to come in. They don't realize that it is an experience. So super excited to hear that.
Yeah, thanks. It is. I mean, what you touched on is extremely important. Even in my personal experience, like right now, I'm redoing my entire kitchen, and it's all vendors that I use on a daily basis. Like these are my cabinet people, my kitchen people, my granite people, my painters. So I trust them 100%. Like I'm here and they're at my house, and I wouldn't do that if I didn't trust them. So it's amazing that I can offer that same service to my clients and know like these are great people, and not only great, but their quality is, superb. One of the things that also I think sets us apart is that through Compass and the brokerage, we offer something called concierge. So like if you want to sell your house and you're like, you know what, Olivia, I want the most bang for my buck. However, like my kitchen needs an overhaul, but I can't do it right now. So we offer something that is Compass Concierge where they front the money. So everything, and you do not pay a dime until it's closed. And so what happens is, you throw, let's just say $10,000, $15,000 into a kitchen, whether it's new cabinets or countertops or whatever it is. And now your home, I mean, we can get top dollar or we can get a higher value. So you're really getting a huge ROI on that, and you did not have to front anything up for it. So that's a huge benefit.
All right. Now you're blowing my mind. Nobody's doing that.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah. That's awesome. Let's go away from business altogether.
Yeah.
What do you do to either decompress, refocus, and just have fun? What are those?
Wow. Gosh, there's a lot of stuff. So I am a very type A OCD. I like structure. So my morning routine, and I know this sounds so cliche because it's like everyone has a morning routine now, but it's so true. Like my morning routine is typically like 5:30. I go to the gym or I get on my Peloton, or like recently there's these amazing trails where I live now. So I'll run or walk or do my podcast hear something in the morning. But it's getting my morning started off like that literally will set my tone for the day so well. I get back and I've already closed one of my circles on my watch, so I'm so happy. And I have my cup of coffee. I try to have my greens every single dang day, but sometimes I just don't feel like it. But I mean, again, my morning and how that starts is very, very important. I'm one that is a very neat, tidy person. So like little things like making my bed and making sure I can't leave my house unless things are in order. Because I just feel like my life is out of whack if things aren't in place. And sometimes I can take it too far, which throws me, another curveball. That's a whole other episode. But yeah, so my mornings are great. What do I do to decompress? I mean, I love being outside, whether that's on the bike or out hiking. I love the ocean. So yeah, definitely being outside. But I also, if it's like a raining day and I can't go outside, I'll reorganize my underwear closet or something. I mean, I really do like things organized and neat because it creates calmness in me. Like when I know at any point, I know where the double-sided tape is in my house. When I need that double-sided tape and I'm like, where the hell is it? I know. So just things like that. My girls make fun of me one day because we were on a meeting and they're like, are you stressed out? And I'm like, you know, I'm fine, but you're going to make fun of me, but this is going in, right? I'm like, my underwear drawer is not how it needs to be. I don't know. Everything is not organized. And they literally were laughing at me. And I said, I know, I get it, but I just like opening drawers and knowing that everything is nice.
It has its place.
It has its place. So that calms me, my psychoness.
No. That's not psycho.
Yeah.
My wife has trained me very well. She's doing a good job and training in a good way. Everything should have a home.
Yeah.
Now she taught me this because my life, I would describe as organized chaos.
Yeah, I get it.
Like I know where everything's at, but if you had to go find it,
I could never find it.
Not even close. But she's taught me very well. Like she's extreme organizing.
Yeah.
So it's like I know where the scissors are in my house. I know that sounds stupid, but I know exactly where the scissors are and the long lighter right now.
I get it.
There's a place for that.
That's
so very, very good. So let's talk about fun.
Yeah.
What do you do for fun?
Gosh, there's a lot. So, I mean, I love people and I love being out. So I have these two sides to me. Like I can literally do hot chocolate and like just lighting a candle with me and my dog, Luca, and having a glass of wine or whatever. But there is a part of me that I love to be out. I love to be around people. I'm a huge dancer. I mean, I'm Latin. I am a very fun, like vivacious Latin woman. So I love to dance. You get me out and you have like good music and you'll have fun.
It's just over. You're dancing for hours at a time.
I can be the life of the party. Yes. I love it.
Gotcha. Very good. Very good. So many people struggle with what do they do to decompress and they don't have an answer for it.
Yeah.
And I think the closer that we get to having an answer for what do we do to decompress and de-stress, what do we truly do for fun? You know, my wife would be in the same boat when it comes to sitting with the dogs. She could sit with the dogs all day.
Oh yeah.
She would love that.
Yeah.
Like that would be great.
Yeah.
Her OCD will also not allow her to just do that.
Yeah.
Because there's 5 other things that she wants to do and organize. But very, very cool.
I get it.
So
I get it.
I love the fact that we've gotten to learn a little bit more about you, a little bit about the company, a lot about your journey so far. If you could give encouragement, and let's give the encouragement to the girls watching this show. Okay. Wow. What would you tell a girl between the ages of 18 and 30 that is wanting to go for it?
Yeah.
What would you tell them right now?
I would tell them it is going to be a journey that is taken step by step. And the hardest step is the first one. This is going to determine the rest of your life, what you do currently today. I think for me, stepping out in faith and going against sometimes the current of what people do or where people tell you to do is very, very hard. But there is a certain kind of strength that comes from when you know, and from your gut. And, coming from a place where, my family and who I surround myself with are huge influencers in my life. But there comes a point in anybody, whether it's a woman or man, that, you have to go with your gut and whatever decision that is and step and journey in life. And for especially a woman, go for it, no matter what it is, no matter how scary it is, because it's going to be scary. But the crazy thing is, it's going to be scary no matter what, because if you stay in the place that you are currently at, it's going to be scary. So choose your hard, choose your scary, right? And I always, like when I was going through some of the harder moments, I always thought, it's going to be hard no matter what. What does a year look like from today? I am going through the trenches, or I'm dealing with a certain thing, but in a year, I'm going to get past it. I'm going to get through it. I would, like I said before, like to your daughter, or to any young woman, whether she's, 18 or 30, being independent and knowing that you can fend for yourself no matter what. As a woman, there is nothing more empowering than that, than knowing that if you need to have somebody, by your side, that's amazing. I think, having that is beautiful, but knowing that for whatever reason it goes south or you don't have it, you're okay. And you will survive, and you will get up, and you will make your bed in the morning and you're going to thrive. And I think it's all about what you listen to, what you put between your ears. I will tell you, Daniel, that my life has done a 180 based on two things. First, I am a believer, and I put God as the forefront of my life as much as I can. I'm not perfect. I am not perfect, and I screw up big time. But I own it. And it is what it is. And the second thing is nurturing what I put in my brain, whether that's, podcasts or audiobooks. I'm a huge audiobook person because I work out in the morning, and then I go run and I walk, or whatever it is. And that has been such a game changer for me. And it has shown me, skills, strategies, how to change my mindset in the darkest moments and in the hardest moments of saying, damn it, I am a badass and I'm going to do it. Whether I probably didn't believe that or not in the moment, I knew, nope, you're going to get up. You're going to cry for 10 minutes. Fine, cry. And then get up and keep going. And that is how I've walked this beautiful journey of uncertainty sometimes, and that's just life. And you're going to have happy moments, but also those happy moments subside, and then the tough one comes, and those subside, and then the happy comes back. And it's just, life is a big cycle of a bunch of stuff, and you've got to be prepared to handle all of those things one step at a time. That was a lot.
That was perfect.
Good.
I think that there's no other words. Thank you very much for sharing that.
Thank you.
If you guys have watched today, please just like, share, subscribe.
Yes, please do.
Olivia, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you. It was an honor. Seriously, like I am the one that passes by and interrupts us all the time because I'm always here, and I'm like, ah. So to be sitting here is so cool. So thank you. You're definitely a real life monument in Ocala. I can just say that. Like it's amazing. So
thank you very much. Well, you guys that are watching, remember that love wins.
Yes.
Period.
That's true.